Okay, in this lecture we are going to talk about management. What is management? Management is getting things done through other people. It means that you don't hire people then do everything yourself. You have to tell them what to do, or at least give them their job description so they will know what to do. This is about management. A successful manager, the one who gets the others do their job that they were hired for. If a manager cannot make his or her employee do their job or force them to do their job, this is a unsuccessful manager, and this is unsuccessful management. In a broader definition, it is the integration of efforts. There's a lot of efforts in the institution or organization, so the management will integrate such effort. And the proper use of resources. We were talking before about the efficiency, the inputs, motivating people. This is a higher level of management, motivating people, providing leadership, also a higher level of management, planning and controlling. This is the basic things in management, planning and controlling, planning for the things to be done, planning for the goals, what to do now, what to do next, what to do next year, controlling, trying to understand what is going on in the institution and evaluate everything, and guiding an organization or a system towards attaining a set of goals and objectives. Then the management, in a broader term, it is a dynamic process operated by a series of interrelated functions that leads to actions for planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of all available resources to achieve the predetermined goal. As you see, we relate things, or these functions we are talking about, interrelated functions, which are four: planning, organizing, directing, controlling. We relate them to what? To achieve goals. So everything with goals or predetermined goals is successful. Without goals, unsuccessful. We will be talking now about the types of management that can be classified as an art or as a science. When we can say this management style is an art or can be described as an art, it can be learned through studying basic principle. This is, of course, about the science. It can be learned through studying basic principles. It is concerned mostly with the efficient use of materials and equipment. It's more likely to involve a clear-cut value, deals with things instead of people. Look at these things. They lack the spirit. They lack the human factor. Somewhat it is about job getting done. It is about output, and most output. That's why efficiency is related to more to the science. Efficiency is related more to science. It can be learned through studying basic principles. It's not about your years of experience and how to deal with people. You deal with things. It is concerned mostly with the efficient use of material. With the least, you get the most, and equipment. It is more likely to involve clear cut. This is right, this is wrong. There is no nothing between them, or at least with such style of leadership or management, clear cut, deals with things instead of people. I want you to do this in the best way, or the most way, the most effective way, and so on. This is dealing with output not with people. But as an art, it is acquired through years of experience and exposure to trial error process. It means that from the beginning to when I am becoming a good manager after 5, 10, 15, 20 years, these are the years of experience, and I will be exposed to trial error process. It means that I make a decision. Sometimes it is right, sometimes it's wrong. It's a trial error process. It deals with people, emphasizing personal persuasion through communication. It uses leadership and motivation to achieve goals. So it deals with people. In comparison with the science, it deals with things. They deal with people. It means that I motivate people, employee. I encourage them to do things with being satisfied with their job conditions, with things that they are doing for the sake of having fun with their job, not only doing the job without satisfaction. It uses leadership and motivation to achieve goals. Managers are the highest ranking personnel in the employment pyramid. There are two kinds of managers: those at the upper level of organizational hierarchy and those at the lower level. It means that with such classification or understanding, we are trying just to understand some description or job description or tasks or what they should do when they are at the upper level or lower level. It's not for the sake of telling the employee that I am at higher level than you. Not this is not the purpose of understanding this. The purpose is just to make things clear that with such a hierarchy, the lower level will understand that he should do this, but not bothering the upper level and so on, managers. The upper level managers, they do the thinking job. It means that they think for us or for the organization. They plan. There are too many tasks that will do. They cannot do everything. What tasks they need to be done, how to be accomplished, who will do them. As I said before, the management is getting things done through others. They assign some of these tasks to others. These are managers in the real sense. But if they rely on themselves doing things, they will face some confusion. It means that they should use their employees. The best approach for them is to exercise their function, what are the functions? Planning, organizing, and so on. Functions. On the other hand, the lower level managers, they depend on themselves doing things, the doers. So we have the thinkers, the upper level, and the doers. The doers, mostly they supervise finishing jobs by their subordinates. So it's not about lower or upper. They are the doers. They do things. But they might be also managers in the sense they are responsible for people that, who works with them, but it's not them who put the policies for the organization, for example. In this logic, managers first handle the tasks and then the people. They might manage both at the same time, and this must highlight the role of a successful manager or administrator in using all available resources to accomplish the goal. In such logic, we emphasize the task and we emphasize the people. And we go back to the style, which is artistic or scientific. We don't have to force ourselves to one style, the style that make things getting the best and the most is the best style. Healthcare services are highly specialized and complex in the present time. So what is the solution? Teamwork. The solution for highly specialized and complex healthcare service, teamwork is the solution. It is valuable and highly appreciated in the healthcare facilities, can effectively produce the aimed services. At the same time, teamwork should be coordinated and controlled by the manager who represents the core for any successful work. How can we study the healthcare management with such approaches? Process approach is the first. With such process approach, we study the functions. Is the best for this purpose, by which or by this approach we identify, describe, and analyze the functions of managers, four functions: planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. This is the process approach. With such a process approach, we study first the planning. Two elements are essential for planning: establishing goals and objectives, determining the course of action for implementing the objectives and attaining the goals. It is important in this role to make things clear. Basically, the goals and objectives have to be realistic and attainable. The procedures and the actions are also clear and possible. So in this function of the manager, which is a planning, he should or she should establish goals and objectives. Without such goals and objectives, there are no plans. And such manager should determine the course of action. You don't just put the goals and objectives and tell them this is our goal. You should tell them also how to achieve such goal and achieve such objective. The second function, which is organizing. The manager is obligated to put in order the work of the institute or organization. In this aspect, the manager should assign duties, give job description, coordinate personal efforts, structure activities, materials. Such important things or key issues in organizing: statement of job description, departmentalization, control, and decentralization of authority. We will come later on in organizing when we talk we will talk about departmentalization, decentralization of authority. Now we should name it as is. But job description is very important. This manager will assign duties, coordinate personal efforts. Decentralization, it's related to, related to decisions. Departmentalization, it's related to specialization and specialty. And the third function, which is directing. The manager has to influence subordinates, put into action the objectives, of the department or the institution and to accomplish the final goal. The key issues in this role, managers' personal skills in directing is very important, or are very important, the personal skills. It has more to do with the leader proficiency or style and talent to be able to contain all inferiors in the. So such managers should use effective communication and negotiation skills, enthusiastic, thrilled, be able to accept feedback, motivate employees, proper leadership style. The fourth function is controlling. The manager has to be aware that the end result of all work performed in the institute is in accordance with the predetermined plan. With such function, which involves three steps: establishing standards in the beginning before action, comparing performance against these standards, and correcting deviations from these standards. So controlling is, without establishing standards in the beginning, cannot be achievable. Controlling, it has to do with, or to be successful when you put standards in the beginning and compare performance against these standards and correct deviations from these standards. In controlling, as we said, objectives, standards will be basis for the controlling, or for the comparison with comparing the performance with objectives. These objectives might be not achievable, or they are not achieved, so we might use feedback to be used to revise these objectives. In such way, in controlling, budgeting will help, financial analysis will help, break-even analysis will help, and personnel performance will help to understand things in controlling. The four functions of managers are interrelated. They do not always occur in the previous mentioned order, but they might come, some of these functions come first or second and go back, fourth, and so on. So these functions are interrelated in this way, as we see here. Planning comes first, organizing, controlling, and directing. As we see, but at the same time they are all interrelated. They are all interrelated. These functions give indications to what lower and upper level managers do mostly. If we look at the upper level managers, they will plan, they will organize, they will think. And the lower level, they will control, direct, and do what the upper level tells them to do. The process approach provides benefits such as tracking system to keep up with the changing concepts in management as all process, tracking new ideas and perceptions, develop management philosophy. Management is linked to fundamental ideas, concepts, and beliefs. Provide conceptual framework concerning the management principle. Planning is prior to other functions. Primacy of planning. You have to begin always with planning. If you don't have plans, you fail. Absoluteness of responsibility means, which is organizing principle, it means that a manager cannot escape responsibility for acts or activities of subordinates. Absolutely right. A manager cannot say, it's not my responsibility for the mistake done by this or that. And in the end, also, process approach can help us understand the directing principle of brevity of communication, which means messages are brief, clear, direct, to the point. This is a process approach. And exception principle, which is a control approach. Concern and focus is most to exceptional, extraordinary cases, but not for regular routine results. It means that in controlling, if you see something which is minor, negligent, deviating from the goal in less than, let's say, 2%, 5%, it is minor, it is negligent. This is not a regular thing. We might talk about. So concern and focus is more to exceptional, the big things, the extraordinary things or cases, not the regular routine results. Thank you.